All right, guys. So, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy May 4th. I'm trying to remember all these days. These days, it's only the 4th, and it just felt like talking to Rusty. It was like almost the end of the month the way we were planning stuff out. It just made it look like May was so short, but it's not. We still got time in this month. So we just want to start off with I'm gonna give you guys a few housekeeping things as to remind you guys of things that's going on this month, just in case you're unaware, or maybe you need a little reminder, or maybe you just was not paying attention, or it just skipped right over you or something. Maybe you had a squirrel moment. Who knows? Y'all can hear me clearly though, right? Okay,
Correct.
good. All right. So first thing is we have conference tickets for fall on sale now. You have the option between the regular ticket for 89 and the plus pass that's about 189. That gives you the option of different ticket discount codes to use towards new distributors getting started. That also has something to do with giving you a package that is like a little what is the word for it? I like to call it a little goodie bag type of situation where you're going to have some great gifts that's in there for you, great marketing tools to utilize. So you have that's available. That's in your back office. You just go to eSuite, click order. You'll see the fall pass sitting right there for you to choose which one and if you want to do it by commission. Um, we also have promotions that's available right now. And everything that I'm telling you, you can actually look literally in your eSuite when you log into itworks.com and hit login and put your password and your email in. You can see this pop up on the main screen. It's literally sitting in the main screen for you. So I'm just going over it briefly with you, but you can physically look at it there. So we have the banquet bonuses that's back, new distributors that get started. You guys have, uh, let's see, you're able to earn up to $20,000 in banquet bonuses through the promotional periods for you. Existing distributors, there are up to 25,000 in banquet bonuses available. Anyone going for diamond or above this month towards those banquet bonuses? Anybody? Put
You're
it in the
dropping
chat.
one
Let
in
me
the
know.
chat.
Put a one in the chat, guys, if you're going towards diamond or above this month towards those banquet bonuses. So that way you can start mapping it out now because there is 31 days in this month. So you got an extra day than last month. But at the same time, you don't want to wait to the end of the month. You want to get everything done now so that by the time the 25th get here, that day you promote. Let's see, what else is there? There's one about Ruby that I wanted to go over. There's a Ruby bonus. Here we go. Enrollment bonus for Ruby bonus. So anybody that enrolls this month, May 1st through the 31st, there is a Ruby bonus that's up for grabs for you guys. So you can qualify by being a new distributor and you earn a $300 Ruby bonus for reaching the rank of Ruby within, let me make sure it's within your first calendar month. Yes, first calendar month. You just got to get your 6 customers. Then from there, you got to go towards Ruby. And that's a $300 additional bonus on top of your commissions, your fast start bonuses, and things you earn. Ruby is literally steps to success. That's literally you getting your 6 customers and then working towards getting 3 people started with you, $39 each because of the codes right now, $39. And then helping those 3 people then work towards their goal of getting their 6 customers and then them getting towards Ruby. A strong Ruby is you getting your 3 distributors their 400 BV, but then from there, getting them boxed in for Ruby themselves, which in place puts you not even at Ruby, but now on your way towards Emerald and Diamond. But that's the goal, to get your first 3 distributors and then help those 3 people get their first 3 distributors and their 6 customers. You know what that's going to do? Give them small goals. That's going to be exciting them because they're going to get a fast start bonus. That's going to excite them because now they're going to get their $150 shopping spree. That's going to also excite them because now they're starting to get small wins. That's going to show that this is something that I can actually do. It's simple, it's easy. We have gummies back in stock. They are literally already shipping. I ordered some bottles. I ain't gonna say how many. Some bottles on the end of the month last month, and they've already shipped. Me and one other person, we ordered a lot of bottles, and they shipped out today. So that tells you that they are back in stock and they are shipping. So definitely take advantage of it. Post to post. I ain't gonna tell you how many I took today. Now that I know they back in stock, I can eat them how I want. So now that we have that back in stock, definitely work on your host to post. Continue that. We have host to post in place. A lot of you guys, I believe everyone is in some sort of a host to post type of promotion that you can put out and say, this is going on. You also all got product awards. So you easily be able to use product awards and use that as a host to post giveaway. There's different ways that you're able to help out with getting host to post stuff. Even if you don't feel like the money option is great for you, for me, that's why people are attracted to my host to post from the money. Maybe some of you guys is from saying you're going to do a raffle for a free product. Maybe it's, everybody's different, but for me, the money is what everybody's attracted to. So definitely don't give up on host to host. Utilize whichever way works for you and stick with it. Uh, let's see. Is that all the stuff? That can't be everything. Oh, of course not, because we got the island for the winner's circle. So, you guys, the island winner's circle, anyone that promotes to diamond or above can be in this, and you get to go to the island. All you have to do is work towards your points. So, if you are someone that's pushing towards diamond this month, you can get in that winner's circle. And all you're doing is doing the same things, putting in customers, putting in distributors, helping them do the same thing. That's promoting you. And then from there, that's getting you into the winner circle. You'll get a little box that pops up at the bottom that'll actually give you a tracker. It'll show you everything you need to do, and that way you can work towards it. And then for you guys that are diamond or above, or maybe at one point was paid at diamond, but you're not maintaining it, if you bought your plus pass from conference, then you are able to qualify for, oh goodness, what is that bonus called? It's like a re-rank type of thing.
It's a
Reload.
rank up bonus, reload bonus.
The different words is throwing me off. Reload bonus. All the words. So you qualify for a reload bonus that's about, I think, $2,500. And I think it's somewhere around $400 or $500 a month you get as it's broken down. So if you feel like, oh, I've lost my rank, but I have no motivation to get it back, yes, you do. If you have your plus pass conference fall ticket and you promote to diamond or above, back to whatever your rank is, all the way up, you can get $2,500 for each one you promote back up to. So you still have a chance to be able to push towards something. So definitely don't think you're out. So if you are lifetime rank of diamond or above, but not maintaining it, let's just say your lifetime rank is double diamond, but you're maintaining diamond. If you get back to double diamond either this month, I think they said this month, or June. So they said for 2 months. So if you do it this month or for June, you can get that bonus. Or let's say that you're double diamond, but you're ranking as emerald. If you get diamond this month, 2,500. Double diamond next month, another 25. It stacks. So push towards that and get that accomplished. You have anything to add in on any of that so far, Rusty?
I do.
Oh, go.
How many of you work a job or you got something else going on? Or you just a full-time mommy or whatever? Drop a 5 in the chat. I was talking to some people today. They're stressed out beyond your wildest imagination about the job over here where I live in North Carolina. And actually, if you're a new person that got in today, you have a $5,000 emerald bonus, a $10,000 diamond bonus, and a $20,000 double diamond bonus. I have to ask you, where else could you go? And if you've never hit any of those ranks and you hit it this month, and I'm going to give you some matters of fact. If you do that, where are you going to go to earn an additional 5, 10, 20, 35,000 in bonuses? Now see, that bonus is pretty cool. Almost 20 years ago, I went double diamond in 28 days when I left the bank. I put myself in a position I burnt the boat at the island. I had to conquer the island or we were in trouble. My wife was very mad, so I relentless. My first time in Success Magazine, if you read the article, it says I had the relentless desire to succeed. Y'all know what it was. Ain't nothing worse than a woman that's really mad at you. Has got 2 children. She's scared y'all gonna go broke. And there's nothing more motivating in the world. But when you make up your mind, if you're good at anything, you can be good at this as well. Make up your mind you deserve those bonuses and march forward with the warrior mentality. Burn the damn boat. That boat, if you got 1 foot on the island and 1 foot in the boat and you're treating this like a hobby, you're just gonna make hobby pay. How many of you would like to be full-time, free in your life, full-time like Rob and I for almost 20 years? And get real with yourself. I want you to understand that you deserve it. Now, Mark has put so much stuff out here, and the reason people are not hitting those bonuses in a particular, and I know it can be done because, Carissa, what did it take us back in the day? We built a team of 600 and some people in 28 days. I mean, that was 18, 20 hours a day. I got so many no's. It was crazy. I didn't care about the no's. Some of those no's manifested through the years later that they've come on and they're really doing it. It's because you never give up and you never give your way a way out. How many of you right now can use the $35,000 in bonuses, not counting the $5,000 a month of residual income? That's the one that excites me. I've never been in this company where I was able to get a bonus because there was no bonuses when we were coming up the ranks. Was none. We just had, there was no coding money. It was just the compensation plan, the unit level, and the generations. And I was just excited beyond your wildest imagination for that. So what I want to do is I want to give you permission right now to go succeed at the highest level you possibly can. And it just takes about that much more than everybody else is doing. And never doubt yourself. You cannot do anything that's wrong because you're putting the human element into it. That is what is real. If you mess up on a post or you word something like me, if you read some of my stuff, when I type with this old fat thumb, it's called fat finger syndrome. I'll allow to have anything put up in there. Words all misspelled. Thank God that my daughter turned on spell correct so that you won't think that I'm too dyslexic. Like, yeah, he's worse than dyslexic. Make up your mind you deserve it. I don't tell you why. The one thing that really set me on fire was my 2 little girls. You know, today, Carissa knows my daughters very well. She played with us on the islands. Pam Mathern over in Pensacola, she knows us very well. I've known her and her family. We've been best friends since '94 when me and Larry was in the banking business together back in the day. And when I come home and saw that I wasn't in the picture, my wife had my 2 little girls were playing ball and I'd missed it again. I was missing everything. So I want to ask you this. Do you really want to continue to miss out on what's important in life? So this bonus structure, and you really need to take this to heart. And I want you to write this down. How many of you are tired of paying interest on your mortgage, your car, your credit cards, paying interest? Right? How many are tired of paying those multi-trillion-dollar banks? It's got us in modern day slavery. Do you really want to flip the script? Do y'all really want to flip the script? You got something here, and it's crazy. So if we invest our time wisely and you go all in, so you can't just play around with this. You have to go all in with heart. That's how we made it. And I told Mark, I said, I ain't going back to the bank. I'll get a job on a trash truck. I ain't going back to no bank. They will not control my time to that magnitude. And so I got all in with basically the 3 steps to success. That's all it was. Now it was a little harder to reach back then. He simplified it now. But when we got all in, but we come all in with heart because we had a reason. We had something that was very important to us. And I was not, this is the most important thing in your life, is the memories you're going to make. How many memories have you lost? That's what the thing that haunted me. I ain't going to lose no more memories. Not with them 2 little girls. They mine. I'm fully responsible for them till the day I die, period. And so I come after it like, now, I know you mama bears and y'all get all pissed off about something. Ain't nobody wants to mess with y'all. You get mad over your babies. How many of you ever got mad over your babies and touch her again? Oh, hell gonna break loose. How many of you love your kids to that? You mess with my kids, my wife? Yeah. Well, see, now that's all well and good, but when you get Papa Bear to the point that he becomes vicious, there ain't no stopping him. Because I don't know why God made us this way. I'm the king, the protector, and that don't mean I rule over. I love my queen to death. And I can't do enough for my queen. But I promise you one thing. You will not put them in any harm's way. You will not make them threatened if you don't have to see me. eyeball to eyeball. And Pam and Thorne's known me a very long time. That's pretty the way it is. I'm not bragging on me. Is they're that important to me. So I want to ask you right now, write down, and I'm gonna give you a simple solution. Write down what is most important to me, to each one of you, and what are you willing to die for? Me, my wife, my mama, my daughters, my family, and y'all. I'll stay up all night around the clock. Somebody messes with you, ask Carissa, ask Pam. I'll crawl in the jet and I'll be sitting in your front yard before in the morning, if that's what it takes. And I ain't saying that to brag or just no. Most people, no, I don't know how to do that. Hypotheticals, I don't believe in that. I believe if we a family and we a team, we have to get all in with heart to move the ball toward where we're going, and all our goals are the same. And we cannot win unless we all win together. And so when you make up your mind, one, you deserve it. If you had double diamond pay coming in right now at $5,000 a month, them bonuses are just stuff that's going to help you get out of debt. Don't go out and you don't need no Louis. You don't need to go buy Mercedes. You don't need to go live like you're living, and make that money work for you. Keep living like you're living, invest that money and make them pay you interest, and your money works for you. And you make your money work hard for you because you're going to work hard for it, but you're going to make it. Now your time becomes compounded, your money becomes compounded, and next thing you know, you ain't paying no more of that interest to a friggin' bank or whatever. You're paying yourself, and your money's making you money while you sleep. The one thing that excited me about this business is we branched off into other countries. While we're gonna go to bed tonight, if you're in the East Coast, Central, West Coast, whatever you're in America, there's people in other countries. It's like 8, 10 hours, 12, 13 hours ahead. They're working while we sleeping and we making money. Now you have to make up your mind that you believe you deserve it. And you go tell your little kids or whatever is important to you, say, baby doll, you're so worth it. And I used to tell my girls, y'all worth it. And they would just grin at me and they just tear my heart up. That's like putting jet fuel in a broom straw field and setting it on fire. And so when you make up your mind, we're gonna flip the script. How many of you put a 6 in the chat if you want to flip the script? You stop. Interest is no longer what you pay. You're going to become what I call, we're going to arm you with what we call debt repellent. How many of you would get up? How many of you would get up on your job and go to work in the morning if you didn't owe nobody nothing and you had 5,000 a month coming in? Would you really get up to go somewhere you don't want to go, to do something you want to do for somebody you want to do it for because you're underpaid, unappreciated, and you're missing what? The most important times of your children's life, your grandchildren's life? Oh, you say you love them, do you? So here's how you win. You do the other stuff. See, I'm monitoring this thing here. There's 30 of us on here, and you're doing the things that the other people didn't see quite as important. And those are the guys that'll be crying and whining about what they got to do tomorrow, and they'll be exhausted tomorrow afternoon. No, you're paying the price now. So let me tell you, pay the price now. If you don't pay it now, you will pay it later. There's no getting out of paying the price. You pay that price now, and you help some other people. They're going to look at you, and you're going to be that hope broker, and you're going to start to pay the price. You're going to get all in with heart. You know what attracts people? You get all in with heart, and you don't make an excuse as to, well, you can't do it. The post didn't work. Well, I don't know what to do. Bullshit. Just go after something and go after it with heart and vengeance. This is your freedom. This is, if you're participating in anything and don't pay you around the clock, and you're showing up to a job and you're in debt, you've chosen to be part of the modern day slavery. But that's a choice. See, I got tired of that choice. I got tired of some of that math just wasn't adding up for me. And so when we made the break for freedom, I said, I'm not going back to no bank. I come home and told Robin that she wasn't happy with me. She got upset, and she wouldn't even talk to Pam Sauter for 2 years. And seriously. And I told Pam, I said, you're the last woman I'm talking to every night before I go to bed, but my wife, she's got you a name. And her and Pam, we met over in somewhere in Ohio, and they went shopping together, and they become best friends. And she was glad we made the choice to come after the freedom. There's nothing more solid in you raising your children or your grandchildren and implementing that to them and creating that foundation, because what? Now you're creating security in your daughters, you're creating security in your sons, you're showing them mama can do it. Daddy can do it. Now the whole daggone family's doing it. If we can do it, this just becomes their what? Their new way of life. And I'm gonna promise you this. God, I should. I'll tell this after she stops the recording. And
Okay.
don't stop it. All right. So when you believe they're worth it, that you can do it. And I've had this way of thinking that I wanted to make things so fun here. The other stuff when we got home from the islands and down in Florida, hanging out in Destin or with Pam and Larry or whatever, I wanted to make things, put them in a position that the stuff at home with those other people wasn't fun. They had so much fun with me. The other stuff just didn't appeal to them. And so when you make up your mind, this is what I said, we gonna do. You let us know what you need and we'll fulfill the, and you ask Carissa, they all know how to get in touch. We will fulfill what you need and we're going to give you things that'll help you grow. The one thing you got to do is I want every one of you to subscribe to John Maxwell. He sends you a video every morning through your email. You subscribe, it's free, and he gives a word. I want you to start to build your vocabulary. When you start to build, and Chris, I'll send you the one he sent this morning if you'll put it in there and tell everybody to subscribe to it. And every morning he gives you a word and then he expounds on the word for about 1 minute, a minute and a half. And if you have to, listen to him and take notes, write down everything he says. And when you do, you start to internalize it. It starts to build your vocabulary because when you open your mouth, you're a different person. You speak differently. You speak more intelligently. You're able to use words because any of y'all remember like the Three Little Pigs when you know what the fable was? Build your house on something solid. Don't the wind will blow it down. You heard about Goldilocks and the Three Bears and the Wizard. You heard all those. They told it in fables and in stories. So what you remember it. That's what John does with these words. He tells it and uses it and how it has affected and impacted his life and his team. It's like grandpa telling you a story and you'll remember it. Now we're going to start to grow this right here. And you start small and then you start to develop an appetite for it. And when you start to develop an appetite for it, you start buying books and read. And you don't have to buy the big, thick books. I hate a thick book. Even the books I write are very small, about 170 pages. That's about all I can think of at the time to put on the pages. But I want you to grow into the next mega leaders. Your check will never grow to the magnitude that you're not growing up here. Your success never grows past your ability to learn and to grow to the next level. And if you've been hung in a place in your life all these years because you let other people lead you around and you're listening to people that don't have no money, that they can't stay with the same person and all that stuff, that's not your tribe. Because see, they're just tolerating you because you're listening to them to impose all their sorrows and all their limitations on you. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I got rid of some family members. I mean, I don't spend much time with them. Is what I mean. I didn't like get rid of them, even though I thought
I
about it.
did.
So when you make up your mind, this is where we're going to go. So when you make your break for freedom, you start to break those generational curses. And when you break a generational curse, things you'll start to accomplish. And if you're not doing anything or going anywhere and you're not getting any flack from your so-called friends or your so-called people that's supposed to be celebrating you where you're going, they're just so-called. And we can't hang on temporary people like they're forevers. And what got you to where you are right now will not get you to where you're going. So I want you to set your goals audaciously. I want you to start to self-develop. If you can't spend 1 to 2 minutes a day listening to John, which is the best trainer in the entire world, if you can't spend a couple minutes on you, how you gonna go build a business? So here's what happens when your vocabulary changes, your mindset expands, you start to attract what people just like you, business people that want to be in business with you because they trust you. They say, well, God, them people don't quit. They keep getting it. I had a girl I meet with in the morning. She's been following me for years, just a young gal. And I said, well, what? She said, I've been following you for a long time. I never had the courage to ask you what you do and how you done it and how you did you get to do all that stuff with your family. I said, there's nothing more than I made a conscious decision. The decision's not emotional, it was conscious. When I made a conscious decision, see, here's what happens when you make a conscious decision. You don't let nothing step in your way of what you're after. Where you're going is more important than where you are. Why you're doing is more important than everything else in the world. Nothing's more important than spending memories and times with your family, your kids growing up, or your parents. It's like Rob and I, we've been dealing with some crazy stuff. My mother-in-law broke her leg last Monday. Yesterday morning, she fell and broke her hip or pelvis on the other side. And so now we had to get an ambulance here at my house at 3:30 in the morning, got the neighbors all alarmed, and they said, "Is everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, we fine. We just dealing with it." But you never let nothing stop you from where you're going. You got everything in place. So what if Robin and I both had to go to work this morning? What if we had to go to work in the morning? Could we spend that time around the clock with her? And I'm gonna tell you this story, and then I'm gonna tell you why I do what I did, how I raised my kids. And I ain't saying I'm perfect. I just know how I was and what would make the difference in me. And I had a fantastic mom and daddy. And so when my father got sick, everybody knows he was my hero. How everywhere I was, he was. Even the first party at work. If I showed up to work in Michigan with Mark, my daddy was with me. If Mark come here, they was all here at my house. My daddy was here. He was just my hero. But when he got sick, I said 37 days in the hospital around the clock. I never left that hospital, the ICC room. Never. The nurses said, "You're getting tired. You probably need to get some rest." I said, "No, I turned the override key on and I'll sleep in his chair, but I ain't leaving until he does. And I'm gonna hold you accountable for everything you do." That's my daddy. That's my best friend in the world, other than my wife and my mama. And I held his hand for 37 days, and I had to be the one to unplug him. So now here's the it was rough. Still rough now. I got a call from Cindy Pentecost every day. "How are you? I'm praying for you." Yeah, that meant a lot. If it had not been for this opportunity, I would have had to put him in the care of other people and not be with him his last days. Because of this company here, I was able to spend that 37 consecutive days around the clock, never leaving his bedside to create that security he had for my daddy. And now Rob and I are able to do that for her mother. So I want to ask you, if it's worth it, put a 7 in the chat. If it's worth it. Your kids worth it. You worth it. Your mama worth it. Your daddy worth it. Everything you hold dear to you, is it worth it? Put a 7 in the chat. I like that 777. See, when you get to the point of what you know is worth it, now it ain't like I'm trying to hustle you to get you all the ships run on the first. You should, because you're in business. It ain't like I'm trying to get you to go out and just do it because we make a lot of money. We're gonna make a lot of money with or without you. I just want to do it with you. This ain't even about that. This is about setting you free. This is about going after your freedom as the most noble thing you'll ever do. And when you go after your freedom, when that issue arises, you're able to man up or woman up on it and take care of it. You're going to be different. You're going to start living like the 10%, then the 5%, then the 1%. And you know what? It does not matter what it costs. It does not matter. I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. As long as I got this telephone, I can sit in a hospital room or a rehab center and never leave that place and conduct business. And I'm there to give them the healing support that they need, and demand the best care for my family, for my mama, for her mother, for my father. When you're able to do it, that is so different in the way everybody's been taught to live. Don't you want to live like that? Don't you want to live like that? As your kids, are they worth you instilling that encouragement? This is the way we gonna do it. Because the one thing I hear most, well, mama did it, daddy did it. What did mom and daddy did? They worked really hard all their life. So you're what you're doing is instilling a system into your kids right now. You're programming them. This is the way it is. And I just have to call bull butter on it. That ain't the way it is. That's the way we've been programmed that it is. And right now, I want to deprogram you. I want to defragment your mind. And I want you to work harder than you've ever worked because you deserve the freedom. I want you to work harder than you ever have because your kids deserve to see a role model. There's not a bigger, better role model in the world than a mama or daddy. Nah, I don't care. You can't let grandmama raise the baby, daycare, your sister. No, hell no. You are the one that instills the value system and everything that your kids and grandkids have. You are the one. You set the pace. And once you start to set the pace, you got everything here that I don't know I don't know how it could get any easier. And here's what's going to happen. Sense of accomplishment, confidence, growing into a leader. And what do you think you're going to develop with your kids when you do that? Sense of confidence, sense of accomplishment, leadership. And all you're doing is training up the next leaders of the world. Ain't nobody did the most yet. And if you can't look at what's most important to your kids, your grandkids, or whatever, and say, Mommy will no longer come in second place. I will not make an excuse. We're going to go get this done. Because there's multitudes of people. They're waiting on you to show up. People in your sphere of influence right now. All you got to do is just put it out there. Ask, what's the worst possible thing that's going to happen? No, it ain't like you got shot. It might hurt your little feelings. But when you become a real leader and you get real focused because your kids are really worth it, you didn't even hear it. Like Cammie asked me one time in the early days. She said, every time I talk to you, nobody tells you no. I said, well, if they did, I didn't hear it. What I heard is the yeses, and those people want to run. Those people want to go. There's people that's putting the value on their kids. There's people that putting the value on your time. So I want to tell you this, and we're going to stop the recording. How many of you still work a job? Do they still pay checks anymore? Yeah. So do you have to sign the check before you can do your banking, or did you electronically sign it? So when you did that, you know what you done? When you put your signature on it, you're agreeing that's all you're worth. That's it. I'm worth $10 an hour. I'm worth $20 an hour. I'm worth $50,000 a year. Whatever they pay nowadays, I have no idea. See, you're the one agreeing to it. But when you come home and work harder on your business and work harder on yourself and you do your job, you'll perform better on your job. And when you're able to go in and fire everybody, you're gonna leave a big old hole. You know why? Because that leadership exudes. You know the impact you've had on other people. When you make up your mind, I'm gonna be a person of impact. How can you impact a person better than in helping them impact their health to get better and get their financial health in line? And once you do that, you become that person of impact. You'll be surprised who will start to call you, who you'll start to attract. And it ain't the same old crowd that likes to go to clubs on the weekend. I just don't understand. Let's get a 6-pack or 12-pack or whatever the packs are nowadays. And it's from Friday to Sunday afternoon. You've got to get high. I guess because the week is so bad. You're getting up somewhere on Monday morning that you don't want to get up for and don't want to do. It ain't nothing like waking up naturally on Monday morning knowing you ain't got to go nowhere. When that first happened to me and Robin, I woke up and I looked around and said, man, I ain't got to go nowhere. I punched her in the ribs. I said, get up, old woman. Now this is really living. We ain't got to be nowhere, do we? She said, no. I said, I take a vote. We just take the day off and go out by the swimming pool and drink our coffee. She said, I second that. Let's do it. When you live life like that, you can do anything you want to. And you know what? You've got to, first of all, believe right here, grow this and believe you deserve it. And fight like it's your life depends on it, because it really does. Because your children are looking at you right now. You're setting the tone, you're setting the example for your kids. And when you set the example, they're gonna follow you. I told my girls that everything is happened with Mark and I over the last almost 20 years. I said, I want you to take this, girls. Y'all my CEOs. I want you to take this and make it better than anything I could possibly do. I want you to take it to the real next whole nother level. As far as our part of this business, take it to the next level. Do things I couldn't even imagine. And you know what they doing? Just that. They coming after. They like a couple saber-toothed tigers. Man, I can't shut them up or stop them. Man, they always rapping, slapping, and man, you would think this is a Networks warehouse. And the way them girls are doing the skincare and the raps on every day, they're just fully committed. You know why? Because all these years they seen we were committed, and I told y'all the reason. So y'all worth it. What do you think that did to their self-esteem all these years? They believe they're worth it. They don't know that they can't fail. Do you know why? Because I never told them they could. I didn't never tell them, well, that's all we can do because that's what grandmama did. No, we want better out of life. And here's why you want better. It's the people you impact along the way. It's the people that see you, that you give them hope. Man, they can do it. I can do it. Reach down and grab that person's hand, not a handout. I don't believe in welfare nor free. And if it is, it needs to be temporary. A hand up. Let's go change the world together. I want to take it. See, if you're going to be a leader, 90% of being a leader, you got to have to be an excuse remover. You got to remove all the excuses. And that means you have to remove them from yourself to start with. And when you remove all the excuses from you, guess what happens? You start to help other people. You remove the excuses from them. And you know what? When you do that, you've impacted the world. They'll remember you for generations to come. I can see y'all now in the big painting on your big fireplace, that big cabin y'all got over in somewhere in the mountains. Or your big old beach house. There's a big portrait of grandmama. Mama standing there and your great-great-grandchildren's man. I'm so glad she did that. She made up her mind. And you're going to be the one, the matriarch of your family that sets your children on fire to be what? Productive individuals in life. Carissa?
It gave me so many Wait, I got echo somewhere, I think. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, me and you can't be talking at the same time, I guess. How nice. So that gave me so many flashbacks on things because that was definitely me. I was able to promote with this business and get to double diamond my first year. And even though I was at double diamond, I still worked full time. And only thing that let me be able to do was now ease the load where I no longer needed to be there 40, 50 hours a week. I can now back it down to 30 hours a week because now I can lighten the load because my work is no longer the most important thing anymore. I realized this business can actually now pay me more than working for someone. And then I waited because I wasn't going to just say double diamond, woo, quit. I waited. I paid off stuff. I for that next year paid off stuff, and then next, 2 years with the business, I then left at the age of 30. So when you're ready to go, and you are sick and tired, and at the point where you're fed up and you're ready to leave, and you feel like this business is what's going to drive you, get going with this business now. Push through because you don't want. I personally, like I just said, made the decision to not just leave as soon as I hit the rank. I utilized having two incomes and paid stuff off. That way, there's no back stuff left over when this business money comes in. Now I can utilize this business money for everything new as a fresh start, not just having all this old stuff. So be smart at the same time. You get this money, you going up in the ranks, start paying stuff off. Be responsible. Utilize the different systems that's in place. We had Dave Ramsey's system that we had a conference back in 2013 that told us about the snowball effect and how we utilize that towards helping us pay down debt. So that's why Mark gives us the money the way he does. That's why he breaks down the money the way he does, because we know if you give somebody all one big sum of money at one time, what they gonna do? Go accumulate more debt instead of paying off debt. So now you have this money bonus coming in residually, helping you pay off debt. Utilize it towards that. So that's your goal right now, is to put that plan in place, go towards that rank you want to go to, and at the same time, look at all that debt that you may have and start focusing on paying it off piece by piece by piece. I personally did that myself. I wrote it out on the board. I think we were listening to Ashley Sinclair one time, and she was like, I know you probably don't want to write it out, but the best thing you can do for yourself is to write it out and look and face it head on as to what you owe, how much you owe, all the way down to the penny where you can pay that off. And I did that, and I wrote it out on my board, and I had it wrote down. And I, as of this year, got it down to literally only thing is that I have that I owe money to is my lease for my truck. That's on purpose because that's a business write off. So makes sense. But to get to that point and to be at the point where I no longer owe anybody else, and now my residual that comes in from this business is more than what the residual I give to other people, that's where you should be striving towards. And then from there, don't go living above your means if that money is not going to be there. Utilize the fact that whatever you have going on in your life, wherever you are in your life, start putting plans in place. And like I told you guys all the time, I have boards everywhere. They're over here, they're over here, there's some boards over there, there's boards in the other room as well. I write everything down because I'm a visual learner. So I make sure I keep everything in front of me because I'm an out of sight, out of mind person. That's the ADD in me. If I don't speak to you on a daily basis, you out of sight, out of mind. That's just the way I am. If it's not in front of me, out of sight, out of mind. So why not keep the stuff around me to keep it in my mind? You have to learn the way you think, learn the way your mind projects stuff so that you can now learn from it and be able to put it back and fix things. So that's just me and how I learn. So make sure you guys, if you have not processed your auto ships yet, get it done. Mike told you last week that it should have been done on the first of the month. So who's already processed their auto ship? Put an 8 in the comments. 8 auto ship done. Everybody should be already on commission qualified mode, because if you're going for diamond this month, you should be already commission qualified. We should be gotta be Queen Mary, gotta be Queen. So definitely make sure that you commission qualified. Next thing, get that chart out. Utilize where you need to be as of right now. I broke that down before too. I told you guys what to do. If you are supposed to be diamond, you need to have at least 8,000 group volume. You know how much you need to have by day because you're going to break that down by dividing it into 31. That tells you exactly where you need to be each day so that you're focused on being above that goal every day. Then you're going to work with your new people on getting their steps to success accomplished. You're looking at this chart every day so that it's not out of sight, out of mind. You're looking at this chart every day so you know exactly what your focus is. You keep that focus in your head all day long because what that's going to do is project out exactly what you need to accomplish and make it happen. That way it's not out of sight, out of mind when someone comes in your ear and say this business is a scam, or you go to work and they say you're not worth nothing, or you around people that aren't towards uplifting yourself and they tell you something negative about you. Thank you, Carrie. You should be at 1,000 today. Your group volume should be 1,000 if you're going towards diamond. So you're going to have those people that's around you that talk like that. I don't have them personally. Like Rusty was just saying, how you cut people off, I cut them off. That's just me personally. I need to protect my space. I will block you in 2 seconds. I don't care if you're a family member or not. I will block you in 2 seconds because guess what? If you are not that type of person that's meant to add to my life and all you're doing is sucking it away from me, I don't need you around me. That's not what I want. I've learned so much over this last year and a half of my mom's passing and with dealing with my dad and his dementia that why would I want to add people into my life that's going to suck it away? Why? Because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to add to me. So why would I have those people around me that's going to drain me? That's not what I want. Why would I want to have people around me that's going to cause anxiety, that's going to make all the stress happen? There's no reason for it. So if you got those bloodsuckers around you, cut them bloodsuckers off. Trust me, it's going to do more for you than it will for them because they need you. You didn't need them. You have to keep those right people around you that's there to push you, uplift you, and at the same time, you have to do the work to find those right people too. Yes, let them leeches go. I'm telling you, it feels amazing. So they can come back after you hit your goal. By all means, you can let them back in, maybe once every 3 months or something and say, hey, but that's not that person that's around you every day to speak to. That's not who you want. If you're on a goal right now towards getting things accomplished, you don't need the wrong people that's going to pull you down. So all of us is reading right now. We're growing our minds. We're stretching it. We know exactly what we need to do because we've been on these Zooms now twice a week for the last month. We know what we need to accomplish. All we have to do now is stay consistent on the goal, keep pushing towards it, realize exactly what we need to accomplish, and make sure we keep those leeches as far away as possible because that's not what we need for May. If you didn't get that goal in April by this little bit, May, you're going to get it done by the 25th. So get those auto shifts processed because that means you mean business. That's right, Lonnie. I'm probably jacked that up just now, didn't I? She was like, yeah. So get that, get those auto shifts processed, get those charts out because the more that it's in your face every day, reminding you of what your goals are, is the more you're going to push towards getting it done. But if you have it sitting over there under a stack of paper somewhere, that shows exactly how much you actually want this. If it ain't in your face, you don't want it. If it's not a screensaver on your phone, you don't want it. If it's not something looking at you every day, if your kids don't know about it, you don't want it. If your family don't know what you're looking to accomplish this month, you don't want it. If nobody sees that difference that's in you, you don't want it. If you can still go on social media and just go in there and have these little ratchet rants for 2 seconds, you don't want it. Because that means that that mindset of that reading that you did ain't working. So you need to go back and start over and try again. So let's push towards our goals, get these things accomplished this month, and realize that you are able to do it. I don't care if you've been in this business 2 days or 2 years or 20 years. Their same promotions is on the table for everyone to take advantage of. It don't matter where you are. We all have the same goals right now. We can all do it. So let me end this. Look, where is the button? There we go. Oh, for all the people that's going to watch the recording, say bye to them because they're FOMO. Sorry, guys. Can't hear what we're about to talk about now.